You go out, you come back, you go out, come back, go out, come back, and that's it. And you keep going back to the same guy. So it was one quest, and that quest was only doable in a group, I think, in the demo. And only free play gave me the option to go alone. So I don't know, maybe they wanted people to go together?
Maybe. I mean, it could actually be a testing of see how their, how their internet would actually compare, when you have like 4 players playing together. Because if they did have a single player option, like, yeah, individually, but then when it all hooks up, because for some reason, with every single Frostbite engine game that's always recently come out, regardless of who it's used by, they've always had massive netcode issues.
Anyway, guys, I just started streaming, so thanks everyone for coming. This is the Sunday 2 p.m. EST Smudstream. Usually we only do one a week on Saturday, but this week's been special, and of course Anthem is a very special product or / demo that's been just came out Friday, and all the buzz is about it. What's going on? Is it good? Is it bad? Yada yada. So we thought we'd get someone who actually played the thing and knows what's going on, and recorded some videos. So this is xLetalis on the left, in case you don't know him.
Hello.
And he's been doing all sorts of good videos on Andromeda and Witcher. He's a great channel. He's got all kinds of gaming stuff there. And he's, of course, a BioWare fan, as most of us are. We all love to hate and hate to love BioWare. So, yeah, we thought we'd take a look at one of his videos he made, and he cleverly took his experience, and I think he chopped it up into the dialogue cutscene parts. Is that it?
Yeah, basically the quest, the one quest that we do in the demo.
Okay, and that's all the demo is. It's one quest with some.
Yeah, it's not even a full quest. It's a part of a quest.
Okay, so but it showcases the main components. It shows the dialogue system. It shows the combat. It shows the cutscenes.
Well, funny thing is that there is actually no dialogue choices being made in that quest at all. All the dialogue choices that exist in the demo are when you go around and meet side NPCs and talk to them about other things. But in this quest, or in the part of this quest, there was not a single dialogue wheel pop up or any of that.
And the only dialogue wheels that we have seen from trailers and other gameplay videos have just been one or two options. I think.
Oh yeah, never saw more than two. Never saw more than two.
So people who are going into this as BioWare fans are going, I don't know if this is really the game for me. And I'm kind of strange why BioWare did that, because when you're thinking of BioWare, like you go to their blog, let me just bring up one of their blogs. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the BioWare blog.bioware.com. If you actually go to the title, it says a look at story-based gaming. You can't really see it, but that's the title of the page. If you go to the root.
I see it now on the stream.
Yeah, so I mean, they are supposed to be a story-based RPG company, and as we know, Anthem is really unknown on the story front. We don't know very much about what the story is, if there even is one. So,
exactly.
So they seem to have focused a lot on gameplay. I'm not saying it's a bad game, because people have always obviously been enjoying it. And that's fine. That's great. You want to focus a game on gameplay. It makes sense. No argument for me. But from the pedigree of BioWare, who says, well, yeah, gameplay is important, but let's actually tell a worthwhile story so you actually enjoy the gameplay, even if the gameplay is clunky, like it always has been. I think every BioWare game has had some pretty clunky gameplay, but it's gotten better over the years. And we can argue, okay, well, the influx of money and time and production costs, all these things contribute to that. And someone would argue the exact opposite. Well, because of these things of streamlining RPG mechanics, yes, the gameplay has gotten better and tighter, but the rest of the experience has hurt. So here we have the exact opposite scenario, where we're no longer coming at it from an RPG experience. We're coming at it from a looter-shooter online multiplayer experience, and then there could be some story in there, which...
Yeah, that's what it seems, from the demo at least.
Right, and we haven't seen any trailers, we haven't seen any interviews, we haven't seen any anything, any media to showcase that this is a BioWare title. And it's kind of like people are comparing it to Destiny 2 or Destiny, whatever the franchise is at, as well as Warframe or a hybrid of the two. And I'm hearing a lot of responses of people saying, "Hey, you know what? I'd rather just play Warframe, or I'd rather go and play Destiny." It's like a hybrid of those two things. Although they make the comment, it's really fun to fly around like you're Iron Man. And I'm thinking, okay.
Yes, Iron Man with a gun. That's what Anthem is.
So before we hop into xLetalis' video, which is pure story, which is why anyone who goes to my channel cares about, we're going to look at some of the news the past 2 days. Just this morning, BioWare apologizes for rocky Anthem demo launch. Infinite loads problem persists, and this was referencing the blog post I just was showing with Chad Robertson of all the problems there. As you can see, he commented on 3. There were platform connections, various entitlements that players had weren't popping up, and then the infinite load screens. Now, I don't know if this is a common thing. A lot of people have been reporting it. A lot of people haven't. How extensive is it? We don't know. So I don't know if you had that problem at the beginning there, xLetalis. Was that a major issue, any of these things?
Well, yes. Connectivity, definitely. For the first 2 hours of the demo, I couldn't get in at all. Then there was some disconnects. There were maybe 2 or 3 very long loading screens. I'm playing the game from an SSD, so it's possible if I was from a hard drive, maybe I would have just considered them infinite and never waited for them to finish. But yeah, there were like 2-3 minute loading screens from an SSD, so that's like unacceptable, I think.
There was a stream I was watching on Friday. I think it was like a 5-hour long stream on YouTube. I can't remember who it was, but he was just stuck on the main menu and just
upper echelon gaming.
Upper echelon gaming. Thank you. Yeah, and we were watching. I was like, "Is it gonna go? There's something new? Is this?"
Yeah, that's what happened to me in the first 2 hours. I was just stuck in the main menu, saying that the servers are full or the servers are busy or something, and that was it.
Yeah, so that's been a known issue, and they've been looking at that. They said they were ready. I want to dispel one comment that we underplanned for server capacity. Well, okay, but you weren't ready either way. It didn't work as planned. Now, that's all the technical stuff aside. I'm going to look at, saying Anthem is blazing new trails. Okay, great. How? What's it doing? What part of the story is new? And I mean, it's kind of funny to see these comments and have nothing to back it up. BioWare has been on the front lines of narrative for gaming, and Anthem is blazing some new trails. Okay, we took a risk, and I think it was totally worth it. It's been a few months. Blah, 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 blah. Again, we have no idea what is new in terms of storytelling or storytelling techniques or integrating gaming with storytelling, emergent storytelling, emergent gameplay. Nothing has been revealed. So I don't know. And yeah, we just got reports again that it was still broken from EA servers. So it's not a problem for most players apparently, but it's still a problem for some. So anyway, I think that's enough background information on the topic. I wish we had more information, but we're going to look at the demo, or at least the story aspects, the dialogue and cutscene aspects from xLetalis, and hopefully get some feedback on what's going on here.
I'm making this video to hopefully give you a sense of what to expect from Anthem in terms of story, dialogue, cutscenes, and that sort of thing. So I've recorded everything related that I was able to find in the Anthem's VIP demo that was released yesterday, which is basically a few cutscenes, a few conversations out of cutscene. The difference isn't that great, but still there is some. And just one piece of dialogue, which is in the very beginning, that actually contains choices. I'm not sure how representative that is for the whole game, but I'm concerned because it seems like choices aren't really a main part of the game at all. So have a look, let me know what you think below. I was honestly not terribly impressed.
Hey, how'd your last job go? If I come back breathing, it went fine.
Straight truth there. Just got back myself. Damn Titan nearly took my arm off. Always something, huh? Owen stopped by. Wanted to make sure your records were in order. No worries, though. A Titan won't stop me from keeping this place organized.
How'd you end up as our record keeper anyway? You don't seem the desk type.
Layers, buddy. We all got 'em. You want a well-placed shot or a well-kept ledger? Ask Lucky Jack. We all do our bit for the family, right?
Okay, so it looks like the facial animations are already better than Andromeda by a long shot. Voice acting is there. I mean, it's not bad, it's not great, but it sounds good. And it seems like you're part of a group that you have to keep afloat for some reason. I don't know. I thought everyone was part of the city, and you're all struggling to survive. But it looks like there's a team of freelancers that go out and make sure the books are in order and everyone's gear is okay.
Yes,
Apparently.
Yeah, and it was in one of the videos I watched a while ago. You actually can, in some missions, you actually go out in a strider, I think they call it. And that's where you kind of forward operating bases. So you've got Fort Tarsus, and then you've got your strider base where you can operate out of as well. And that's where most of your team members, that's, people like Owen and the other people are in there as well.
And let's actually look at the choices here where you have the option to talk. Yes, we all have our roles. We do our jobs. That's it. I don't know the major differences between those two sentences, but did you actually replay the demo to find out? I don't know if you can make any great changes.
No, I didn't. I didn't care.
Okay.
I wasn't interested in knowing.
You sign up, you pull your weight. It's that simple.
It's more than that. But hey, however you want to paint it. The point is, we've got each other's backs. It's not like we got anyone else in our corner.
Freelancers have had better times.
I don't want to say our budget's sad, but I can perform magic with more figures in the columns.
Freelancers have had better times. That implies that in the past, whatever happened was in a better scenario. Like there were better economics, there were better raids. I don't know. Whatever this culture or society is based off scavenging a tropical magical forest or whatever you call the environment of Anthem. It seems like, okay, it was better before. Okay, we got you. What the hell does that mean? I don't know.
We need
Sorry, I was just like, if let's say like you got these cities and they're only like the vast vestiges of mankind on this planet, wouldn't there be like total government control and there wouldn't necessarily be an actual economy? Like, it just seems a bit odd that there would just be a kind of free market while we're trying to survive day by day.
It would be kind of a hegemony or some sort of monarchy where one force would be in power and they'd be ordering everyone around and they would be dishing out resources. Yeah, that would be it. If they were in survival mode, yeah.
Speaking of survival mode, nothing seems to indicate that when you walk around the base. Everyone seems to be doing fine. Nobody's running around scared, crying, fighting, doing nothing. You'll see it. Actually, I'm not sure if it's in this video, maybe in the other one. But anyway, you can resume.
So it's not like Metro, where you'll actually see people in the dire straits.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, right. We're starving. You look well fed to me, mate. Look at those muscles.
Yes, he's well fed. He's standing up straight. He's relatively clean. He's doing okay.
Answers to bring in contracts, get the work done. The better the Enclave does, the better we all do, right? Well, I've got reports to update before I'm back out there. Striders to save, relics to silence. You know how it is.
Okay, here's the main quest.
Yeah, so he's part of the Enclave. Yeah, he's part of the group called the Enclave. Is that the freelancer team? Like, what is that?
We don't know.
We don't know. Oh my goodness.
See, here's another problem with this demo. I hate to use Mass Effect 3 as a good example, but I think the Mass Effect 3 demo was actually pretty good at letting you know what's going on in the game. You know, it had the very first mission and then another mission in the middle, but you weren't confused about things. And here it seems like they're dropping you in the middle of nowhere and say, here's what the game's going to be about.
Especially since the character you control is a no-name nobody.
Yes.
whereas Shepard is sort of your avatar insert, and we know from past games who they are. And
Exactly.
There's history, there's lore, there's all kinds of imports. This is just talking to a guy. That's it.
What have you been up to?
You'll love it. Okay, it's called the Manifold. Well, technically I call it the Manifold.
And it does what, exactly?
For years, I'd heard of a type of Shaper relic that was able to amplify and augment the qualities of other objects. Never encountered one, never knew anyone that had, but thanks to the Elysian manuscript, I think I know where one is. Right here in Bastion.
And you think it'll amplify and augment the power of my javelin?
Precisely. Excited yet? Not to worry. Once we find the Manifold, get it working, you the Manifold. Then we boost your javelin, you silence the Heart of Rage, and boom. Everyone lives happily ever after.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Details. I've sent all the particulars of the location to Faye. I can't wait. Need help with that?
Okay, do you see all these people just standing by, doing fine? That's how the whole base is, pretty much. It's peaceful. There's actually kind of chilling ambient music at one point. It feels so wrong. It doesn't seem like the end of the world or fighting for survival or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like when I used to play Resident Evil back in the day, when you had the save room, it was kind of this kind of melancholy to it. It's like you kind of got a reprieve from the horrors of outside. You know, that's the kind of vibe that they should have gone for, personally speaking, just from a musical standpoint. I'm no musician, so I wouldn't know. Sorry.
Also, another point to make. The game does lead you by the nose quite a bit. If you see there, it not only shows me where to go, but it shows me which exact turn to make. Can I bring this video back? You see here, it says enter here, then turn right. And it's like that in the wilderness as well. It's very specific about telling you which exact path to take.
Oh, people might get lost in that 5-meter hallway. That's only got one direction. It ends in a cul-de-sac. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
Matthias,
Hello, hello, hello.
here's the Manifold.
Interesting. It's much smaller than expected, huh? Well, Joel's not gonna hurt it. Probably. Okay. This. And this. And there. Okay. You hit that switch? Hit it again?
It's just me, or is nothing happening?
Okay, easy, easy. Let me see here. Yeah, this is here. Yeah, this is here. I mean, the connections are right. I know. There is this tried and true technique. Never fails to...
Matthias?
Well, this is... new. Incredible. Shove off, Hansi! What went awry? We struck the manifold. Manifold, definition, amplification, or multiplication. Oh, we've been multiplied? This is total scorp drop. Wait, this can't be multiplication. You're surly, and I'm not, and he cleaved in threes. What happened? Division. Of course. An inverse function of...
The Manifold divided you?
I don't like this. Physical, multiplication, psychic, division. A personality split 3 ways. No! It's not what the Manifold is supposed to do. We have to fix this.
The Dominion soldiers in the ruin, there were 3. Do you think the Manifold affected them too?
3 Dominion soldiers? The same soldier.
I'm not sure.
We have to go check. Agreed. Any information will help. Wait! What are we supposed to do in the meantime?
Stay out of trouble?
The Trouble's my middle name. No, it's Errol. Guys, focus. It's Errol. Go. You're right, buddy. Oh.
Right, so what do you... oh. I think we're both trying to pause.
It's okay. Yeah, no, it seems... it looks like you sort of jog. It doesn't seem like you're walking very slowly, at least, so that's okay. A lot of people were talking about how gameplay is so quick and fast that when you're suddenly back at base, you're like walking around. It really slows everything down.
Yes, there is a rather big disconnect, a big contrast. I talked about it too in one of my other videos. Out there, everything is flashy, explosions, loud, fast, and so on. And in here, everyone's just peaceful and not moving at all, and you're walking relatively slowly. You can't really run. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a big problem, but it exists. That's segregation of, I don't know how to call it.
The first time I heard that the voice actor, I was like, oh, that guy has a really high-pitched voice. Then I realized it was the same actor, and he was playing 3 parts. I'm like, oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him.
I found it. I was going to say then, like the fact that your character is all in first person, but yet when you actually move into your javelin suit, they made a purpose model, and you can select a different type of head for your character. So they've got a head character, and you've got a full body that you can look at. Why didn't they just make it third person? It's like
yeah, at least in cutscenes. Yeah,
because it's
at
like
no point do your character.
So is there a face option to build your own face?
Not in the demo. I think there will be in the main game.
Okay.
I think they said you'd be able to pick from a few. Like how if you ever played like the Division or something like that, you'd be able to like cycle a few different types.
Oh, so you could get a mustache, you could get some brown eyes, and that's about it?
I think it might be preset, yeah. But like people have only said that the only time you actually get to see your character's face is in the brief moment when you actually like suit. So.
Oh yeah, it's for like half a second when you enter the suit. So if cutscenes are all going to be like this, where you don't see your character, I mean, there might as well not be character creation.
What the hell was he wearing?
What were you
Hold on,
those
do you see that?
I know you cheated at the
The pointers. Let me bring it back to show it once more.
game.
Sweetie, I don't...
We're walking to the
Focus.
I know you cheated at the
place.
game.
How
Sweetie, I don't have to...
do I make it more sensitive? There we go. So enter here first, then take a right,
Oh jeez.
then continue further forward.
You
Then speak to this person. You see how it is? That's what I don't like. It's like every 5 meters it shows you where to go.
Handling flipping Hansel and Gretel, isn't it? It's like
Exactly.
red.
It is possible this was one of the tweaks that they were referring to when they said that the demo was balanced just for the demo experience as opposed to the full game balance. So maybe they made it like child-proof, so you don't have to think about what you're doing.
It could be. It could be. But I stopped to look at this guy who looks like he's wearing his pants on his head or something. Let's have a look.
A miniature ironing board that's tucked away there.
What is this on his head?
Watch where you fling those accusations.
I know you cheated at the
Like,
game.
every time he bows down, he's
Sweetie,
gonna
I don't
create a
have to
draft.
cheat. You're just bad at cards.
I want my money back.
Sorry, spent it. I'd be up for another game if you wanted to win it back.
Please, I can't afford to lose that money. There's no work at the fort.
Then maybe you shouldn't be gambling.
I have a family.
I hope they're better at cards than you are.
And then they look at you.
They stop and both look at you like, oh, it's awesome.
Good, you're here. Those samples you brought me, what were they?
Well, they used to be Dominion.
I thought it might be something like that. Reality decay is not pretty.
Reality decay.
When a Shaper instrument taps into the Anthem, it affects reality, and reality is a lot less stable than you think it is. One incorrect variable and the
Okay, so the Anthem is an energy source? It's some sort of thing Shaper relics tap into.
I have no idea what it is.
All right, well, we know things work off the Anthem. We just don't know what the Anthem is yet. Okay, cool.
Sick beat, yo.
We know personalities split, reality decays, and yeah.
entire equation collapses. Reality collapses. These Dominion, whatever happened to them altered their nature, the fundamentals of their existence. But it wasn't right. Something wasn't right. They couldn't last. What's this got to do with Matthias?
Whatever happened to these Dominion happened to Matthias too.
You're not saying...
The manifold affected him. It means they are unstable and in real danger. I gotta go.
That's a bit abrupt, wasn't it?
Gods, I could really use a soothing cup of tea.
You're back. That is you, isn't it? I can't quite focus my eyeballs.
Where's Sumner? And where's the manifold?
He was impatient. He wanted to pursue his...
Who's Sumner?
I think they gave themselves little names, like just for identificational purposes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me leaping there, but I think that's the logical. I know I'm filling in the blanks for BioWare, and I shouldn't do that, but I think that's what they've done.
Yeah, she's looking for the third guy, so yeah, I think that's the case.
Okay, so Errol is the middle name of Matthias, and whoever the other guy is, let's find out.
own theory.
He took it
Matty.
and pushed me. Not hard, but it hurt my feelings.
What did Aruna say?
The Dominion soldiers were affected by some kind of reality decay as a result of their divide.
Reality shifting in unintended ways. As a result, they were...
Wobbly. Jelly that didn't quite set. Oh, that explains why I'm feeling oddly... porous. It's not a great feeling. And none of my limbs work right.
We need Sumner back.
and the manifold. The generator of the effect must be part of the solution.
Do you know where he went?
He talked about needing a...
What does jelly that didn't sat mean? Like, didn't sit?
If you don't set jelly right, it basically like kind of still becomes watery. It kind of like splodges out.
Yeah, when you make Jello and you don't keep it in the fridge for the proper time, it
yeah, you didn't get the consistency right. If you added in too much water, the things doesn't form together, and it just kind of goes bleh.
Oh, okay.
That's the scientific definition. I just Sorry.
Drink. Maybe the bar?
It's start. How long do I have?
I smell burnt toast.
Not long.
God, he's having a stroke.
Please hurry.
He's smelling burnt toast.
Thanks, BioWare, for that Canadian little talk about neurology.
Lady Cardia and Commander Vool, huh? The gossip's everywhere. Fort Tarsus's power couple. That Vool. There's always something about a man in uniform.
That's strange. They went directly into another conversation.
And they're staring at you.
That was creepy.
Isn't there?
Is your character like got a mirror for a face or something? So that could explain a lot.
I don't see Sumner anywhere, but there's Aruna.
Maybe she's seen him. You should ask.
Ah, freelancer. Let me guess. Looking for Matthias?
Yes, one of them.
He wanted a drink but wasn't allowed in. He's been banned from the premises for months.
Great. So he's gone now.
I tried to talk to him about the samples you found, but he didn't seem interested. He was always easily distracted, but never rude. It was odd.
It's
Shiny
complicated.
teeth.
That one, Sumner, appears to be the abrasive side of Matthias.
We should find him. I don't know how quickly the reality decay could set in.
Got
This,
it.
like conversation ending's a bit
What now?
abrupt, isn't
I don't
it?
see Sumner anywhere.
He might still have his link on him.
Connect us.
I can sense the link, but
Wait a second. He has a piece of technology or communicator all the time, and we didn't bother to use it the first time. It's like, let's walk around and try and find him. It's like, why? Call him up.
It's a good question.
Oh boy. Well, it is interesting because if that's the problem, because there's three people, and they might all have the same communicator, or whatever. I don't know if it's built into their bodies or whatever. So maybe that's not going to work. But you gotta at least address the problem.
Yeah, what could have been funny is if, let's say, every time you try to ring him up, the other two keep on like answering the phone call because they've all got it. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
Yeah, it's just these little inconsistencies in the story here. It's like, by the way, everyone has a built-in phone in their brains or whatever. It's like, really? Oh, why am I walking around?
Why do I need to talk to people? Don't you guys have phones?
But I can track him. Got him. He's by the forge.
You said Sumner was here. I don't see him.
No? Let me check the forge records. Looks like he took a javelin. Can he do that? Can he even operate?
Thanks for telling us now.
But it's like, aren't javelins supposed to be like really super rare and I'm supposed to be looking after them, and yet some random baldy just goes, yeah, I'm just going to take this one out for a jaunt. Yeah, sure thing, mate. No worries. Are you trained in it? Probably. I don't care. Aren't javelins...
He might be a freelancer. I don't know. We don't know.
If he's like a techie kind of, ancestry kind of guy, historian, if you want to call it, I don't think you'd kind of want that guy on the front lines of a impending war against the ever.
Sure.
It's just a bit odd. Unless of course, you Stargate and you Dr. Daniel Jackson, who, which then you'd be like, yeah, fair enough.
I just like the fact that, oh, by the way, I wasn't paying attention if he left the entire town, even though I knew exactly where he was. I told him to go. Oh, let me go hack into this other terminal to find out. Oh yeah, no, the records show he left in a javelin. It's like, good to know. Thanks.
Like, whose javelin did he use? Like, wouldn't they have like some kind of did he use one of your javelins? That would have been an interesting game. Like, you can't use one of your javelins that you've got unlocked. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like they have all this information at their disposal, but it's like, oh, we won't tell you everything because, didn't think about it, didn't want to help. I don't know. I'm just the voice in your head.
Yeah, see, I'm the watchman. I just watch things. It's not my... You think I'm a law enforcement guy? No, I just watch things.
Wait, someone's asking me, do you think the animation is better than Andromeda? Yes, because the voice acting certainly isn't. The voice acting, I'm not going to knock it. There was some pretty bad voice acting in not the demo, but I think it was a trailer of some sort from BioWare last month, where the black man's voice didn't match the person. That was odd. Like, it looked like an older gentleman, but it was clearly a younger voice actor. So I don't know. It could be temporary. I know they did that with Williams back in Mass Effect. So they had a filler actress before they hired whoever to do the job. So maybe they'll do the same. Obviously not within 3 weeks, but
Oh, I have a question to you or to the stream. I never actually played in a party, but in one of the trailers, I think it was maybe even the first gameplay trailer, we see your party mate right here on this launch pad entering his own javelin, and you can go talk to him or something like that. Do you remember that trailer?
Yes, we do.
Do you actually get to see a second javelin if you're teamed up with somebody? Because you don't see any players when you're alone and any other javelins. And I wonder if that trailer actually shows the truth or not. Because I remember very well your main character walking up, seeing 2 or 3 suits here in this platform, and seeing the other freelancers getting in and actually talking to them because they were your party mates. Does that actually happen or not? I don't know.
They did include this, not a social hub, but a launch hub where you just sort of like a lobby room where everyone just sort of stands around to make sure everyone's ready and communicates until you actually go off on a mission.
Oh, that too, yeah. I didn't see that either, but once again, I didn't team up with anybody. So what happens when you're alone? You enter the suit and you immediately see the world map. and you pick a mission and you just teleport right there, and that's how it was.
And I understand that you have to pick a mission before going out, unless there's some.
Yes, you cannot actually go out, like exit the place and go into the world. You either go to do your mission or you choose one of several free play locations and you teleport in that location, and then you start exploring and looking for, things to do. But you can't actually go out of the city, like through the door or fly over the wall or something like that.
I kind of got the feeling that this demo is a bit haphazardly put together, because when I'm looking for, like, going back for the dialogue and all this kind of stuff, it kind of feels like there's certain lines of dialogue that are missing because it seems a bit jumpy in places, you know what I mean? So I think they may have just like squashed things out.
It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah. I know it has happened before. Like, I know in Mass Effect 3, they changed a couple of things, didn't they? Or at least from one of the early demos, they changed lines around. Like Cerberus was like indoctrinated, and then they removed that line and replaced it with something else.
Yeah, it could be.
Great one?
Not well, I imagine.
He has likely left the fort by now. You should go after him when you can, in case of trouble.
Yes, we're really scared of this guy. Show some urgency.
Wait, she said he has likely left the fort by now. So does that mean she can't detect him based off his communication device? But she could inside the fort. If that's the case, then obviously he's left the fort. Anyway.
And you can see what I was talking about here. This convergence is your mission, and that other icon that looks like a 8080 or something, that's free play, I think.
Yeah, I think that's your Strider. That's where you kind of like forward operating bases. At least that's what they've said.
Mm-hmm.
That could change, because you know what BioWare is with removing things at the last minute.
Ooh, flashy.
Here's something I noted. Apparently, you don't get to see your face when entering this particular javelin. I'm pretty sure you saw it with the default one, the Ranger one, but this one is the Mage, whatever it's called. And
Storm.
I guess, yeah, the animation here doesn't show the face, apparently.
Yeah,
but the other one did show it.
Yeah, because when you saw the very first gameplay trailer, when you see the Ranger moving up, like you see her moving along, and then the faceplate comes down. It's like, at least that's something. But
that happens on the Ranger. Okay. That happens. I remember it in the demo, but apparently with this javelin it doesn't happen. Oh, and also this is funny. If you see this frame right here, this is what happens when the demo ends. You go there and the cutscene begins and freezes on the first frame, and that's it. And I thought my computer crashed or the game froze or something, until I hit escape, and I noticed that I have to hold it to cancel the cutscene. And when you cancel the cutscene, then you get the screen with the "thank you for playing the demo" and so on. But it just freezes like that.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that was actually posted on Twitter, how to get past it, because a lot of people were saying, "Hey, what the hell happened?" And so it was a known bug in the demo.
Now, Legend, congratulations for completing the demo.
Well, didn't you, in order to play the demo, don't you have to pre-order the game to get it in?
Yes.
So are they saying please buy the game or please don't cancel your
pre-order? Yes, that's funny. They say please buy the game to people who have already pre-ordered.
Please don't cancel your pre-order. We mean it. No. Oh, fun. So many mixed messages. Okay.
And that was it.
All right, so
buy Anthem.
Yeah. Here's the actual gameplay demo. I'm going to turn it down so we can hear ourselves talk. And I mean, it looks like a crazy action flick. Just
can we put an epilepsy warning on, please?
Welcome to this video where I'm going to give you a little over half an hour of gameplay and story from Anthem. And by Anthem I mean the VIP demo, which was released today. It is a limited version of the game, so I cannot give you my full impression. So far, from what I can tell, immediately this is not your traditional BioWare game. There is a story in it. It's not Fallout 76, but the focus is definitely not on it. So the experience you will get is not similar to Mass Effect or Dragon Age or Star Wars The Old Republic, at least as far as I can tell from what's in the demo. Who knows what the full game is, but judging by the demo, yes, there is a story, yes, there are cutscenes, but they're fairly simple, and they seem to exist primarily to just give you another reason to go out and shoot things cooperatively. And shooting things is fun and cool and flashy and action-packed, and if that's your thing, this might actually be the game for you. I'm no expert at this kind of gameplay, but it seems decent enough for me. I wish the game was more in the spirit of the old BioWare games, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I leave you with the rest of the video, share your thoughts down below, and have a good night, because it's getting late here.
What have you been up to?
You can skip this part.
It's in camp close by. Perhaps we'll find a clue there.
Why are the Dominion here? How could they know about... Oh.
What did you do?
I, sent a message to a colleague at the Academy about what I found.
It was intercepted, then.
It's an archive. Let's see.
Forced entry with a version of the monitor's device. One trooper entered vault before door shut itself. Commanded to hold until a sweep is completed. Both signets for the device were returned to camps for safekeeping. The scout succumbed to injury on the way out. We left her. We have not heard from the trooper inside the ruin.
2 special Dominion signets then. That's what we need.
I'll send you the location of nearby Dominion camps.
not too sure what's going on here.
Loud noise.
It's flashy and loud.
Object.
There was a turret, some sort of energy source, and I don't know.
I think we found one of the signets, but we need to get rid of the Dominion security around it. I'll get this decrypted as quickly as possible.
Apparently, Knuckles was the narrative director for Anthem.
There's no damage if you crash into something. I tested here.
No fall damage either.
You're smashing into things. Oh.
No.
I'm assuming that's a demo tweak.
You see how it leads you by the nose here as well? It shows you to go into this exact corridor as opposed to just the end location.
Kind of defeats the purpose of the open world exploration theme, doesn't it?
That's the ultimate, right?
Yes.
Jeez.
Sorry, I really hate it when people reload bullpup rifles like that, because I've handled rifles, and you don't reload them like that. You're an idiot if you do. It really does irk me off. Sorry.
Yeah, but you were never in a mech before, so, you know.
Yeah, but you still wouldn't. You still wouldn't, though. I mean, you reload, you bring the rifle to the right-hand side. You don't reload it with your right arm, which is where your pistol grip's supposed to be held by.
I'm frozen and I have to like spam space
Got both the signets. Let's hope this works.
One way to find out. Head back to the ruin and try to open that door.
Now, something I skipped, but this ruin is actually locked behind a loading screen. Apparently, there are these areas where they don't have a phasing technology. Do you play World of Warcraft? Have any of you?
No.
Well, there they have these areas in the world where if a quest affects the area in some way, people who are on different stages of the quest see it differently, reflecting their current stage. And here, if there are areas which change based on your current quest, all these areas are locked behind loading screens. So in this place, for example, you can look back and see the world behind you, but you have to go through a loading screen every time you enter and exit this place because it changes based on your quest's progress. I guess that's just worth mentioning. It's an open world, but sometimes you do have loading screens where things change eventually.
Interesting.
Yeah, you would have thought that they would have just created an instant zone for that area, and that would be like a lot simpler. But I suppose if you want to try and do the whole...
Yeah, I mean, similar to Star Wars: The Old Republic, I suppose. Have you played that?
Yeah, I played that
yeah,
quite a lot while ago.
Yeah, you know how there are the story areas and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's similar here.
Green and red doors.
Exactly, the green portals. Similar here, except you have a loading screen when you go through a green portal. And there is no green portal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it, I guess.
Stay alert. There's probably Dominion in here.
I keep thinking of DS9. The Dominion are attacking.
Wayoon's attacking. Have you got the guy who does Wayoon to be the bad guy voice? I'd be like, oh, that'd be epic. That'd be brilliant.
Inside joke, yeah. I like that. So this is the grenade class, it looks like.
Yeah, this is the soldier class. Yeah, the what's it called? Ranger.
Ranger, yeah.
Also, I think these are the three soldiers who apparently were also split up. I think they were talking about these three soldiers in the cutscene, if you remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, the guy's just casually on fire, like, yeah, this is a bit hot in here.
That were locked in this chamber were behaving strangely. They seemed confused. But enough about that. We should move on and figure out how to get the manifold. Found the manifold, but it's protected by some kind of barrier.
It's linked to the entire Shaper structure. For some purpose. You must break the link before the manifold can be removed.
Ah, picture puzzles.
Well, that's good. There's more than just shooting in the game.
Barriers down.
Yeah.
As careful as you can. The manifold is fragile.
And dangerous?
Probably that too.
Got it. On my way back.
I can't believe it. We did it. See you soon.
Yes, we did it.
We did it, Reddit.
And we saw this in the story video.
Okay. Zip ahead here.
There is this,
Matthias?
Oh, multiplication.
Sure.
Oh.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier. The place is now different. You have to go back to it, and so you have to go through a loading screen because it changes. This is the exact same area now, only it has eggs and stuff.
Oh, so it's the same level. Now it's just totally different, whatever spawning things are going on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
I don't know. I've seen, you've seen that in games like, was it Half-Life 1? Where like you walk through the tunnels and then when everything, you have the resonance cascade and then everything's all changed. It's like, yeah, it's... All right, Farah, calm down.
Looks like we've cleared out the scorpions. That'll make it easier to continue the investigation.
Oh. Oh, those are actual items. Okay.
Yeah, that's loot.
Those are not normal remains. Looks like some kind of goo.
Blood.
It doesn't look like blood to me.
Decomposition? Too quick. Unlikely. Perhaps the manifold. Side effect of division?
Let's get some samples.
Agreed.
Where's the scanning option? We need the Omni scanner.
That's really gross.
Bring the samples to Aruna Call. Yes, our discussions have led to a hypothesis that the split... It warped reality. There are side effects. Aruna Call specializes in that. She's on expedition helping the Sentinels. I don't like this. You don't like anything. Dominion soldiers dissolving is bad news. Relax. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. So you're just gonna sit around. Where are you going? Sumner's left. He just got up and left. I don't know. Just find Aruna Call. We'll deal with this back here.
Crap. Scars.
Those sentinels need your help.
That's cool. Attach a little wire. Power them up.
Not a big fan of the whole picking up the health from the dead enemies, though.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it in Doom because at least Doom, it's fun because you're basically an angry Usain Bolt. But this is a bit. It could go either way. You know, it depends how it's implemented in the full game, I suppose.
I'm still confused why the Colossus doesn't get a shield.
Yeah, it's like the big guy with the hat can carry all the weight. Should we put a regenerating shield on him? No.
To analyze this?
Where did you get this? The energies it's giving off. I can evaluate this data back at the fort.
I'll take Aruna and the rest of the prisoners in the Strider. You should take out that Skara she mentioned. Kidnapping? Sounds like bad news.
Do we know what this Iskari looks like?
The Sentinel said it was huge and dangerous.
That boss was difficult.
That AI wasn't Mercy, though he was a bit confused.
Yeah.
I think he was being impressed by the huge vistas.
This guy was difficult to handle.
Oh, the I can't believe it's from Destiny walkabout. I know, I'm being an ass here.
Oh, 2 guys are down.
Yeah.
What difficulty are we on for this? Was this
normal?
Normal? Okay.
Jeez.
Look at how quickly they kill you.
You're on fire. You're like, ah!
Stop, drop and roll.
That's it. Iskari trouble dealt with. Good work. Head back to the fort and we'll see if Aruna discovered anything about those samples.
And we've seen this.
Lost.
I think the next gameplay is with the mage suit. Keep forgetting the name. Storm? Something?
Yes. There you go.
Can't seem to make the connection, but I can
Just think of the X-Men and you'll
Yeah.
be up.
Iron Man, Storm, Wolverine, or whatever the...
Colossus. Hey,
Colossus.
there you go. Yeah, it doubles up.
Well, safe. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Aofi? Aofi? I'm glad someone is enjoying it, because I'm getting bored out of my mind. I'm just like, oh, explosions.
I'm tracking Sumner's position. Do you see it?
Yes. Going after it.
Have you found
Oh,
something?
he looks
He
cool.
left the fort. I'm trying to get to him.
Yeah.
Got a cape for some reason.
The ability to perceive time and space normally.
What?
No
It's
cape.
complicated.
I'll go as fast as I can.
He's a wizard.
He's a mech wizard.
Necromancer.
He's a necromancer.
Ooh, he's got a nice spell.
Like, the fact that you're just floating there, the enemy just like, oh, great, we can't do anything.
Yeah. Has a nice 1-2 combo.
Those scars were quick to attack. Do you think they ambushed Sumner? Wouldn't rule it out.
Is there like a cooldown reduction on some of your weapons? Like if your weapons are like heavy, they used to be in Mass Effect. Now you have like a big gun, it was weighed you down, so your cooldown was longer.
Oh, you know, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that.
Sumner's not
It's possible, I suppose.
He must have taken it off.
As you see this mage guy, it's like, why is he holding like a sniper rifle? I mean, I guess it's fine, but maybe there's a way to optimize your build to use your abilities opposed to weapons.
It's possible.
Fit into it while wearing a javelin.
That's where you got like the 6 customization options that you can put in the
Stay
javelin.
where you are.
That's gonna do all your effects and things like that.
How's that Sumner?
He's trapped underground somewhere. How's Maddie?
None of his major organs have liquefied. Yeah.
Major organs? What about the non-major organs?
See, enemies disappeared.
Bring back the manifold and Sumner as soon as you can.
Just de-rendered. Hi.
I'm sensing some strange energy. What's down there?
I don't know, but Sumner has the manifold with him, and he came here for a reason.
Freelancer, you there?
On my way.
I found what I'm looking for. Yes, the residence of this place is exactly what I need.
Jeez. Now you need a gun for it. He's like launching lightning at things.
Yeah, Armageddon basically. Ultimate. Too much particle effect. Can't see what's happening.
Ooh.
Oh, where'd your health go, dude? It's like...
Yeah, so flying generates your shields apparently.
Well, it's like,
No, I think it's just staying out of combat for a while that does it. I don't know actually.
Yeah, it's probably like every other like Mass Effect style game or any other game that has shield generate. You know, that's like what Halo 1 days.
It's bad when you can't freeze them because you can't combo with your lightning thing.
What are you doing? Be careful.
Harold thought taking the manifold to a different rune would provide us with additional insight. Different rune, different energies. He was right, but we knew we needed a javelin to get out of here, and neither of them had the guts to borrow one.
You mean steel?
Sure, whatever. That's it. Got the data we need. It took someone with real drive to... Oh, crud.
Sumner, what's happening?
It would be really nice if there was like a timer and there were consequences to Matthias not doing whatever he's trying to do here. If you don't save him.
Truly.
There's consequences in their games.
It would be nice. It's like, oh, Matthias is that away. Okay, we'll get there. Stuff happens.
There's no sense of urgency, is there?
No, there's no. It's like, oh well, maybe we'll come back later. It's like, okay. I mean, they told us the other dude's internal organs are turning to jelly. We're like, yeah. Oh well. Oh, he has an invincible shield. Okay, cool. Wish you could give that to us.
Look, the fire nova goes through the wall.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be use your jetpack kind of thing, isn't it? So
probably.
And somebody says that there's no melee. I think melee is like Mass Effect, isn't it? Where you have a melee button, but you don't actually have a melee weapon.
It's the V, you can see it on the bottom right.
So I always think back to Warhammer Space Marine, where you're just walking in there with just a thunder hammer and you just start smacking dudes around. You know, it's like, ah, bop.
Ah.
Kind of boring, these guys. Especially since we killed 1 or 2 of them in the previous room and now we have 4 of them at the same time.
I'll do it 2 more times. You'll enjoy it more.
I like how the difficulty level at Grandmaster levels are just the same enemies times 100% their health and stats. You're like, oh, that's fun.
He just done that shit.
Hey.
Wish I had his shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Just walk around with that.
And there was that conversation once again that we saw.
That was like action packed that I did not care to watch. Oh god. I think we could probably write a letter to BioWare saying, hey, you know what fun is? It's when you care about what you're doing.
Yes, yes.
You can look at children. They are amazed by little things. They think it's amazing. I remember my friends, when they first watched Star Wars, they all wanted to be Jedi because Jedi were cool. And they would run around and sword fight. And that was fun because it was in their heads. In their heads, they thought being a Jedi was amazing and had value to them. I'm not denying this game is flashy and beautiful and has good controls and music and God knows what other pieces of media, but I was bored just watching that. It was a bit of a chore. Didn't care for Matthias and his clones. Didn't care for not one character. I didn't care for the main player character, whoever she is. We don't know anything about her. We don't know what her scenario is. We don't know why she's doing what she's doing. And as xLetalis was saying, everyone in the town seems to be doing okay. It's no sense of urgency, no sense of fear, no reason to do things. That's not how you tell a story. You want immediacy. You need a problem. You need a hurdle. You need a challenge. Not, hey, this guy, he's getting sick because he split himself into 3. It's like, oh, okay. Should I go help him with that? Because that sounds like it's a mini boss or a mini quest that you go off on. It's not like part of a main story. No,
that might be a side quest. I don't know.
I could be wrong. It just didn't seem very involved. And if there's no timer, all it is a matter of doing it over again or repeating. And there's no like, ooh, I gotta get better. As opposed to, ooh, I gotta farm a new blue drop or whatever the rare drops are.
So you've basically seen the whole demo now.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad because you went through all the tribulations of getting the thing running and waiting and whatever lag and whatever other hiccups you had. Ah, yes, Anthem is the greatest video game in history. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we thought so.
Yeah.
Sorry, his face is tired.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we've taken up enough of xLetalis' time. Is there any questions you've got for him or myself or anything you'd like to say? You need a reason to pew, die another people? You are just be mean. Okay. I think EA cares about money, but BioWare at this point are just employees. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big company now. With all these offices, or they used to have lots of offices. So they got their stable IPs. They have their online games. So they're obviously going off in the online route. When you have a timer, usually trying again is how the game deals with that too. So, yeah, that's true. If you fail, you could always restart, as with every game. But it tells you there's something happening within 2 minutes. You have to get something accomplished. You can't just run around and hide or get back to it eventually. You have to focus and be specific and be efficient. Not saying it's a good solution, but it would make things a little more anxious, at least. Yes, it does look like Destiny, and it does look like Warframe. It's like half and half. Everyone's been saying that. Fallout 3 New Vegas 4 plot analyses when? Dear God, that's too many games. New Vegas would be fun. I think that'd be fun to... Because the main plot is pretty straightforward, and it wouldn't take that long. And there's all kinds of side quests that I might have to go into. That'd be like a separate thing I'd do. Am I excited about BioWare's future? I don't even know if they have one after this. This is... We always speculate. When Dragon Age Inquisition came out, we weren't too sure whether or not that would be the end of the line. And luckily it hasn't been. They've got some return on investment there, which is good for them, but the quality of the product suffered. Same with Andromeda. You know, they're pumping out games, but they're mediocre. So I see a lot of good things in Anthem, and I see a lot of just nothing. There's like, oh, where's the story? I don't know if it's good or bad yet. I can't even comment on it. Is BioWare doomed? It feels that way. Yeah, this is supposed to be EA's big game, and it's not. It just looks nice, or crazy and explosive. But no, it's not. It's not the big hoopla that we're expecting from a AAA BioWare game.
It depends also as well on what kind of demands EA's basically placed on BioWare, like what they did with Visceral was it Dead Space 3, where they said they had to sell, I think it was at the minimum of 5 or 6 million copies. It was some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And this could be a backdoor thing. I'm completely speculating out here because it's probably one of the reasons why they shut down Montreal, because they just went, no, sorry, you failed your expectations. We're shutting that thing down. You can't do it. Move on. And that's the living under the yoke of EA, unfortunately.
Well, that's just business. I mean, if they didn't make a certain amount of money, they can't keep all these studios open. It makes sense. But
well, no, it's more about, like I said, it's more about the projections than anything else. Because they did make money back. They made their cost of development, marketing, things like that back, and 10 million extra. But they weren't. But the projection that they were going to say to their shareholders wasn't met. So it was like, no, that's it, canned. Which is a unfortunate side effect, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure if AAA multiplayer games are a thing. Like when you look at really successful online games like League of Legends, I guess GTA 3 GTA 5 Online, is that the latest iteration of that?
Red Dead Redemption's 2's online as well.
Right.
That's been a bit of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort, and it's just that's all they do. It's like they focus on that one thing, and they might have another project in the works and so they're very limited in scope of what their companies do. So with Riot, that's all they do. So I don't know. It's hard to say. You have to then compare that to Riot, because Riot also does microtransactions just for cosmetics. So it's, you can buy all these skins that improve the experience. There's no gameplay impacts. It's all visuals. You have to create a community, and I can't really see that level of fandom and community from 4 categories of player character mech. I mean, yes, they're all unique. We get that. And you can customize the crap out of them with paint jobs and textures and all that stuff. But like, no one's really going to identify with their Storm. There's no backstory behind it. There's no vibe as you would say a Teemo or well, there's hundreds of League of Legends characters. You pick one and say what you like. So it's lore is not really important to these games in that regard because they're battle arenas. But in this game, there is no battle arena. There is no PvP. It's all part of a story that we have no investment in. We have no knowledge of. So, hard to say. Is there really any company you can point to nowadays and still say they make actual RPG games, not just RPG Light? Aside from indie games and maybe Obsidian?
I think Spider, the people who did Mars Warlogs and Technomancer.
Right.
They
went from indie to AAA, or tried to do a AAA.
Well, it's more middle market than anything else, to be fair.
Yes.
You've got Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's an RPG. Bound by Flame. That's another one. I think it's called Bound by Flame. So there's a lot there. I say a lot there. I've only mentioned 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. Can only count 3. But they are there. It's just a lot of them in the middle market kind of scene. It's just not really. You have to kind of dig around for them.
Yeah, especially with Larian. Someone mentioned that. Of course, CD Projekt Red, as we all know, is
that's a given.
That's the highest. That's the pinnacle. So they are there. They're just, the release date of these games are slow. They take time, and I'm still with I think Alcat Games for Pathfinder. Still going through that. So they are out there, but they're very niche. So that's how RPGs should be. They should be a niche market. And with BioWare, they're trying to expand too much. They made Mass Effect 2 to appeal to a greater market. They did the same with, well, in some respects, Dragon Age Origins. The marketing has always been geared to mass market.
It's true that.
Yeah, they've been getting rock bands and other rap artists to sell their trailers. They've been hiring third-party animation studios to make trailers. So they've always tried to get more and more people interested. And I guess that's fine. They know their marketing better than, well, I hope they know their marketing better than anyone else. Whether or not that sells, I don't know. So, hard to say.
Oh yeah, it's like EA wasn't actually expecting Dragon Age Origins to actually sell well. That's why they pumped out Dragon Age 2 so quickly, because they're like, we need to capitalize on this market. It's like, no, let it rest, let it build up, and then release another one.
Yeah, look at the popularity of The Witcher 3. Why was that so good? Why did everyone like it, even though they weren't RPG fans? Because it was a quality product. I remember the argument. I had friends who were playing PlayStation back in the day. They never played an RPG once until Final Fantasy VII hit the market. They're like, oh, wow, it's a big world. There's all these characters. Obviously, the walkabout was all blocky, 500 polygon count. Cloud looked like a pincushion with a purple stick man. But, it's people still...
Popeye, the Sailor Arms.
Yeah, they look hilarious. But people identified with it. They're like, oh, yeah, this Cloud. He's spiky hair. Cool. So, and plus all the beautiful cutscenes. So they could see these what the game and genre was trying to do, and the limitations of technology they could accept. So it's the same thing. The RPG mechanic has to be there, with all these things that appeal to a broader base, if that's the goal, while still keeping to the game mechanics. And of course the storytelling. So if the storytelling isn't there, then all the cutscenes in the world, all the explosions in the world will not matter, unfortunately. And I think that's all the questions you guys have. Again, if you have any other suggestions on videos or content that we're going to do in another stream, leave it in the comments below after this video stops streaming, and then it bakes. You can go back to the video, put your comment in. I'd appreciate that. Leave a comment on Twitter. That's always good. And we will see you guys next week, if not this week, on the weekend. Before then, if there's something really pressing or some news that pops up, and we'll call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you for having us.